Our podcast tonight is sponsored by Notion and their new Notion agent.
Hello and welcome to the PC Perspective Podcast. We're at episode 852. This is being recorded on January 14, 2026. I'm Sebastian Peak.
Jeremy Hellstrom, I think.
I'm Josh Walrath.
I have no strange noises. My name is Brett Van Sprunberg.
I'd like to apologize to anyone that I gave false hope for 2026 to a couple of weeks ago. It's just as bad. I'm Kent Burgess.
In fact, it's worse. It's much worse. It is the very end of 2025 that destroyed the hobby, or tried to. Be thankful for what you have, because it's all you're going to get.
Especially if you bought something in August, that was like the best time.
Try to resist selling it and doubling your money. Try.
I dare you.
I paid $99 for this 32 gig kit of CL30. Okay. That's worth like $400 now. So, I don't know. Do you sell?
What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's like me buying high-end alcohol at MSRP prices. I could resell it for a whole lot more than I paid, but I'd just rather drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, how do you resell alcohol? Where do you do that?
You find people. It's like the secondary market for Pappies is, for the 12-year-old is $1,200, but I can buy it for $135. I mean, once a year, and I only get one bottle.
Moving to the Patreon segment of our podcast, we have an update, don't we, Brett?
You know, we usually do. Even if I've got to make it up off the top of my head, we almost always have an update. And this week's update, I'm going to skip right to that. We've got Krull at the Devil's Address, and with the 6 or is it 5 blades. Anyway, he'll know exactly, or she, or probably he, will know exactly what I'm talking about at the Devil's Address. We've got Jay Sun. If you follow my pronunciation, Jay Sun has joined us and is helping us move to the next show by filling the coffers. And finally, I think this is a bit of a shout out to Josh. Remember, you can always update your name and your alias on Patreon to something humorous and catchy, like this person who renamed themselves to Get Your Nerd Talk Out of My Food Podcast. Chef's kiss. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't understand why Krull got the negativity it did when it was released.
I agree with you, Josh.
Was an outstanding film.
Mm-hmm. It was, but the pacing was a little off compared to some of the other stuff that was out, so people just got upset.
Yeah, how many knives?
I rewatched it 5-6 years back, and it was so good.
Five knives. Yeah, thank you.
And they filmed in the Dolomites, too. You can tell. I mean, Dolomites look like the Dolomites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh, do you want to talk about food?
Do I ever want to talk?
Good, because I couldn't find your post.
Because it's posted about 15 minutes ago. I forgot.
There's the reason.
Yeah. So anyway, there I was wishing for a hamburger. And you know what? If you wish hard enough, it can come true. And I wished for a popper today. But then I ordered it, and I got there, and I took it home, and then I unwrapped it. And it was a sad-looking popper. I mean, it still tastes good, but it just was mushed and sad, and the cream cheese was coming out. And if I had any
traditionally,
issues,
it does have to be dropped at least once, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
it's probably hit the floor.
There needed to be some more candied, fried jalapenos. Didn't have much of a bite to it. It was tasty, but again, not much of a bite. And a little bit more of the raspberry chipotle sauce would have been great. But still, I can't complain because it was still a very good burger, and I'm full. And the fries were perfectly done again. They've really been on point with the fries. So I can't resist the popper. It's a classic. If you ever go there, that's like one of their specialties. And what it is the jalapenos, raspberry chipotle, cream cheese, like like a jalapeno popper, except it's a burger. Get it? Now, if they'd bacon wrapped it, I think that would make it even better.
I think it's been scientifically proven that bacon makes everything better.
Makes pretty much everything, yeah.
What do I know? Let's move directly to the news, and in no particular order. This is from videocards.com. There are reports that the Ryzen 7 9850X3D, that processor we talked about last week that will make your 9800X3D painfully obsolete by, a couple hundred megahertz, will be launching on January 29. Now, the price, not confirmed, but there's some AMD apparently leaked it, or maybe this is from the reviewer's guide. I have no idea.
Cheaper than the 16 gig kit of RAM you're going to have to buy with it.
Ouch.
16 gig. Oh, no, I think you could probably buy 32 gigs for the price of this thing. Let's be fair. RAM only as expensive as a flagship CPU now. Moving on, via machine translation from Computer Base, the German publication of some renown, an article about good news regarding memory. NVIDIA plans to produce more RTX 5060 and Ti cards with 8 gigabytes again. Remember we talked about they were shifting away from 8 gigs. They didn't even want to sample media with the 8 gig version of one of those and just kind of pretended it didn't exist because they got completely destroyed when that original card launched.
So last year.
Well, it's back.
Something happened.
Yeah, something happened.
Sure,
and now all of a sudden, where was the quote? Here we go. Reports surfaced in December from Asia that NVIDIA intended to reduce production of the RTX 5070 Ti and the 5060 Ti with 16 gigabytes of VRAM in the future because the ratio of memory to GPU price is particularly unfavorable in these cards. Quoting
That's a
from
nice
the
way to
article
put
here.
it.
So, yeah. So here's your 8 gig cards again, guys. And hey, DLSS 4.5 allows you to render it internally at a low enough resolution to actually make 8 gigabytes work for you. So that's the solution. 3D rendering as a concept.
Well, you saw that Twitter post of somebody posted a Oblivion reboot at 240p, and then they applied DLSS 4.5 to it, and it actually looked pretty good. So if you want to run your thing at 240p, well,
This is the card for you.
this is the card. Your 8 gigs will not get starved.
It's going to cost you more than 240p. A lot more.
Yes.
And in a related story, this is via Guru of 3D, there's a report that NVIDIA told their board partners that the 50 series Super refresh has been delayed.
Is that because the 5070 Super would cost more than the 5090 does when it launched?
Probably.
By any
if
chance?
you're talking about list prices, because
Yes.
these would have...
Yeah.
Remember, I thought the theory was that they were going to be switching to much higher VRAM. Yeah, RTX 5070 Ti
VRAM.
at 24
Yeah, 24.
gigs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
They're going to
No.
they're going to 3 gig chip modules instead
Yes.
of 2 gig. And of course, those 3 gig modules are probably thousands of dollars each now.
Probably.
OpenAI bought them all, so now
Yeah.
they can't do that. So sorry, guys. Sorry, consumers.
Suggestion from the chat is to, what about bring your own RAM CPUs? Like how the AIBs have to source their own RAM now and NVIDIA stopped sending it to them.
I have at least one graphics card in my basement from ATI that just has a RAM slot on it. You had to get compatible memory. It looked like laptop memory. I think it was a slightly different pinout, but you could buy upgrade modules for those and just add your own RAM when you could afford to. Maybe we'll go back to that, except the latency would be outrageous. The penalty.
Sims.
Yeah, but you could almost afford it.
Micron said it's helping consumers by removing Crucial from the consumer market because, what is their actual
Choice
quote
is
here?
bad.
I love this quote. I would never want to tell someone what to think or that they're wrong, but our viewpoint is that we're trying to help consumers around the world. We're just doing it through different channels. And as long as you use AI, then you're getting some of that RAM sort of tangentially. So yeah, it's good.
You know,
for
he
us.
is kind of he's looking out for you because you know what? You're not tempted to buy what isn't there.
Oh,
He's saving you money. Saving you money.
But I thought
very altruistic.
I thought the world's best and most successful CEO said, the more you buy, the more you save. But this guy is saying, the less you buy, the more you save.
No, the less you can buy. He still wants you to buy more, but the less you actually literally can buy, the more you save.
I think really what he's saying is if you rent time on our memory using a service such as AI, you're essentially gaining the benefits of that RAM tangentially, as Sebastian was suggesting.
You know, if you go through a book like Dealers of Lightning, which is the story of Xerox PARC and basically the origin of all of this stuff, the personal computer space, there was a feeling early on that it was complete waste to have a personal computer, that all computers should be these massive centralized things that you just tap into and share resources all around the country, because how profligate would it be to have your own system in your own house, only occasionally doing work? That should be distributed across the whole country. And that's what we've come
Who do you
back
think
to.
you are?
All these years later, it's just like, no, this is for the greater good. It's a communal
Do you know how many
system.
times we've gone back from the microcomputer to the personal computer, back to the micro, blades, PC,
Dumb terminals.
Ooh, yes. Time shared.
Net
Time
tops.
shared.
Yeah, timeshare was all we had for a long time until the microcomputer.
Exactly.
which
And
I
honestly,
blame
that wasn't
Intel
just
for.
countrywide. That was globally. We're not going to expand the hardware until you can prove it is being used 24/7 as North America shuts down and New Zealand, Australian picks up, and as they shut down it. And so that we have 90% load on our machine 100% of the time, then we might think about, adding another cluster.
Well, you're talking
And
about global rolling blackouts? That's brilliant.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we
But
just get
I've
power in
literally
little
worked with
increments
people.
of time.
That's where they started out with, was dealing with IBMs and Sparks. That no, there is no way the company is going to expand our capability until we're hitting 90% load 24/7 across the globe.
The big,
And the fact that
big
Wayne won't
iron
go down.
days.
Right? I could see it coming back, except it's a little cloudier. It's
Speaking of
impressive.
clouds, Microsoft, big cloud provider, and they want every computer to just be a conduit to the cloud. And all of the latest features just pumped into your system, whether you like it or not, unless you use PowerShell to disembowel those Windows 11 AI features. And Zoicware needs a lot of publicity. If you don't know what it is, then you should know what it is.
Yeah. No, they've spent a lot of time doing a lot of this sort of fairly, well, I mean, I don't know. It's just this on your end, it's a simple script. On their end, it's not so much. But they've been disabling all sorts of features in a variety of Windows versions that no one ever asked for or wanted, but were gifted with. And so in this one, they have sort of conglomerated just about everything that they can together into a single PowerShell 7 script that gets rid of just about every single piece of Copilot that exists on the machine, recall the AI enhancements to Paint, the AI enhancements to your voice, the AI that listens to your microphone, whether you like it or not. The very little hidden ones that do it. And they've been working on this for a while and will continue to work on it. So every time Microsoft rolls out another way of getting everything to be enabled again, they're going to put another one out. Now, even they say, hey, we're not perfect. So if you read through the GitHub, there are a couple of manual ones that you may need to do just because Microsoft doesn't like the fact that you're changing it. So you do have to go through an extra couple of hoops that, maybe could be done in PowerShell in an obnoxious amount of coding that wouldn't last to the next version. So it's easier to do it. And they've even got some of the classic versions. So if you want to reinstall Classic Paint, they've got a way for you to do that because it is still there. So yeah, if you've never heard of Zoicware before, check them out. Apparently they've got a Discord, which was new to me. I didn't realize that, but I found that out today. And yeah, it's super easy to do. If you're running an antivirus, it is probably going to complain because it is doing a whole bunch of registry changes, whole bunch of policy changes. Yeah, it's doing what a virus would do, except it's for good.
Yes.
And they say if you've got any worries, spin up a virtual machine, run it, see what happens. Just in case you're worried or you've got something that might break, like recall. Oops.
It's the first step after a clean Windows install. Using Rufus to already strip some of the requirements out. Then you run this afterwards, and it's almost like you have a little bit of control over your own operating system, but not entirely.
I think there's a footnote in the instructions that says we can't actually disable everything.
No, are you online? Things. Oh, you're vulnerable to Microsoft.
Oh, yeah, too bad.
Oh, yeah. But hey, some of the telemetry goes, a lot of the AI stuff goes, it's better than it was.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one of the reasons that the Micron person was saying that it's good for consumers, they dropped Crucial, and apparently they're not really killing it, it's just that it doesn't make any sense to be in that market right now. One of the reasons they cited was that it's going to take till something like 2028 at least to have any kind of restoration of the DRAM market, if that's the right word. And to that end,
SK Hynix,
SK Hynix to spend $13 billion on the world's largest HBM memory assembly plant. They're breaking ground later this year, I think in the spring, April 2026, this article at Tom's Hardware Premium says.
Well, look at the land before you scroll up. Look at all the room for activities.
Is that all water or is that a parking lot?
No, it's like parking lot and it's areas to expand. So basically they're developing this area that if they need to expand, they can do it quickly because they've got the land, they've got the electric infrastructure. Yeah.
So some sort of drop-in ZIF upgrade that just connects to that empty lot there.
Yeah. Just like what Global Foundries did in New York, where they originally had those big 3 fabs, but then they didn't do that, and they went somewhere else, and it wasn't nearly as kind of cool as the initial thing. So who knows? Maybe SK Hynix will just have a bunch of land, and once OpenAI goes belly up.
Next, 2026. Yeah, it's not going to be a good year for PC builders. But don't worry. I told you. AI says sales will be way up. So the AI projections. Oh, yeah,
because the AI projections and some of the companies' PRs coming out saying, don't worry, there's going to be a huge surge in 2026 because, move on. Just invest in us because people are definitely going to be buying a lot of machines in 2026. I mean, the last quarter of 2025 was good. Almost 10% jump in PC sales as people desperately bought systems before prices went through the roof. That's why that bump was up, regardless of what your AI will say. It's a trend, and don't worry, Windows 11 adoption is going to continue and people are going to have to buy new machines. It's like, no, they bought the very last of the models that had been already put together and were being sold at a reasonable amount and not the new wonderful world of DDR5 pricing that we have now. It's going to go badly. I'd hate to be a system builder right now.
You still have probably a month or two before a lot of the pre-builds start really heading up. I mean, Dell's starting to see stuff going up, but you go on to Newegg and some of their specials, they're still reasonable. But if you think about, when they actually configured, ordered all the parts and built the systems, it's, 6+ months ago before they even hit. That's just how long it takes these OEMs and ODMs to build their systems. So if you really need something, take a look at some of that and see what you can get.
My concern is repairs coming down the line is how much DDR5 are they going to keep in stock, especially on the boards that are soldered on, to be able to actually honor a warranty repair without having to do something interesting or nefarious.
Well, I mean, they've kind of built that into the initial order. Yeah. But if they
crossed.
go on a bad if they go on a bad run and have all kinds of defects, then yeah, you're
exactly. Yeah. And what are they going to do? And plus, there's always that temptation of, dude, that DDR5 has jumped up in price almost 200%. You sure you want to just keep it in case?
Let us pause here for a word from one of our podcast sponsors.
If you're a team under 10, the bottleneck isn't talent, it's time. Treat Notion as your control room, then let Notion Agent clear the runway. Now your team can spend time focusing on their hard problems and shipping products. Start by centralizing specs, notes, tasks, and assets so the plan isn't trapped in someone's DMs. Then delegate the repetitive stuff. Have your agent assemble the weekly status page, turn meeting scribbles into assigned tasks, and spin up new project pages from your template with one prompt. My messy 5-minute recap usually costs an hour to compose, but Notion Agent drafts it, links the examples, and tags the owners. So easy. Notion brings all your notes, docs, and projects into one connected space that just works. It's seamless, flexible, powerful, and actually fun to use. With AI built right in, you spend less time switching between tools and more time creating great work. Notion is used by over 50% of Fortune 500 companies, so the coordination muscles the big folks rely on can make a small crew feel almost unfairly efficient. And you stay in control. Everything is transparent and editable, so trust builds fast. And now, with Notion Agent, your AI doesn't just help with work, it finishes it. Try Notion, now with Notion Agent at notion.com/PCPer. It's all lowercase letters, notion.com/PCPer. To try your new AI teammate, Notion Agent, today. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show at notion.com/PCPer.
Power supplies, CPU coolers. Those are two things that have been spared so far. Right?
Stable pricing.
Yeah. No.
Oh, and TVs. TVs go down.
Right.
TVs and monitors.
Yeah.
That's next. So power supplies, CPU coolers, they're, let's see. According to a Video Cards report, there's a leading manufacturer in China, and I'm not even going to pretend to... They've informed customer that power supply prices may rise by about 6 to 10%, while CPU coolers are expecting to see a 6 to 8% increase. That's just based on raw materials going up, but obviously
because we
demand
can
for power supplies and, let's say data center grade cooling, those are going to go up.
Yeah.
That's just for creating like heat sinks with 0 points of articulation, just to buy the metals and form it. That's like a 6 to 8% increase right there. Can we blame this on RAM? I'd like to.
No, I don't think so. Anybody who's tried to do any home wiring the last few years, that's a nightmare.
That's correct.
Like rolls of 12.2 Romax used to be like $26, and now they're $100. So that's just the way it is.
So metals are going up. I mean,
go ahead, Jeremy. I'll make my point.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I was going to say that you're not completely wrong that it is a downstream effect of RAM, because yes, these giant AI factories are going to require a lot of PSUs that are using the same caps that are in our consumer ones, and a lot of heat moving things, which are the same metals that we use in our coolers. So a little bit downstream, but also the fact that, copper, aluminum, silver, gold, everything is hitting records highs, and it's not slowing down at all.
So I saw something kind of interesting today. It was not, confirmed, but I don't necessarily not believe it. Microsoft, and they pointed them out, they have a significant portion of their GPUs and their racks and the stuff that they've bought are just in warehouses because they can't build a data center fast enough to store everything that they have bought and gathered. We're still dealing with the whole transformer issue. We're still dealing with, getting access to the grid. I know that, who is that? Who's that supersonic company wants to build the first 100-person jet? Supersonic Boom Aeronautics.
Queen?
Anyway, no Boom. They're floating out a natural gas based turbine for these data centers that would drive a dynamo, and that's how they would provide electricity to these things. That is not inexpensive. And not only that, but if you're in any place close to a residential area, no matter how much you try to muffle that, it's still a turbine running at very high RPMs. So
let's just get into the companies that are now going to start running their own nuclear reactors. That's 30 years. That's 30 years of red tape. Bill Gates has been trying to get that going in I thought they were reactivating
Wyoming.
3 Mile Island due to data center needs.
Microsoft is reactivating 3 Mile.
A lot of the red tape is already done in the 70s. So
very true.
It's there. They just make sure nothing's rusting and refuel that mother scratcher.
I'm just sort of picturing a warehouse with giant AC on the top as normal, maybe like twice as much as you normally see, and then cobbled together super pipes running throughout the ceiling and trying to attach to all of the stuff that's running, sort of like the old pipes screensaver. It's just sort of horrific, nightmarish idea for an AI system, or an AI center. But I bet you that might be what they're doing in those warehouses.
Yeah, but you still got to power it. Still got to power it.
Gerbils. A lot of gerbils and a lot of wheels.
You may not believe this, but I've actually started to move stuff out of my office and getting it cleaned up. We're big news.
I don't believe news. Because it doesn't look.
I know it looks terrible right now, but certain things are gone. I still got the Ripper. Can't not have that.
Oh wait, there's only one. There's only the Ripper XL. Oh
no, the other one fell down.
It's fallen.
The helmets are gone.
They've been in the closet for a long time. They went Tom Cruise. The children moved out.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is because
did you get a good price? Or?
Good price. I rented them out to Nike, and they're currently chained to a sewing machine. So, no,
being forced to write comedy.
This is true. It's worse. Yeah, it is. Anyway, but no, I have extra rooms now, and I made one into a sim room. And of course, my child was very disappointed. You already moved on without me? I was like, yeah, I have.
Dude, the door didn't even close before I was in there.
They're still in town, though, so we see them all the time.
Josh, have you started to wear a full face helmet when you do sim racing with F1 or...
I do not, and I don't wear gloves, and I don't wear racing shoes. Socks, bare hands, no helmet.
I think maybe you're missing out on the experience. You're missing just a little bit.
I could be bare hands.
Yeah.
And now a story near and dear to Brett's heart, I'm sure, from 9 to 5 Mac. I wonder who added this.
This hurts.
Apple's new Google Gemini deal sounds bigger, better than expected. Now, oddly enough, Google Gemini, which actually works fairly well as these systems go, they have this multi-year collaboration with Apple because Apple utterly failed at their Apple Intelligence nonsense. And then they said, correct. Look, liquid ass. Look. Instead, so now, and sorry for all the Apple fans out there that I'm offending right now. And
do it.
I've had iPhones since the very first one. So watching what happened with the iPhone over the years, how it just started stagnating. We get the same design for 3 or 4 years in a row. And then they do completely unnecessary.
But it's not like it was bad.
Refreshes.
It was not like it was bad before, but this glass
wasn't bad
really
before. And what they added that was good was the ability to actually put your icons where you wanted them. The app shortcuts could finally be placed arbitrarily on the screen instead of starting at the top left and working their way down. So anyway, the liquid glass nonsense aside, Apple Intelligence is going to be powered by Google, but don't worry. 9to5Mac has assurance that Apple's current privacy standards will be upheld as part of this deal.
It's not actually powered by Google. In all honesty, let's just
come on.
The real story. The underlying
real story
story
is Apple totally failed, and they're just going to use Google as the back end. Come on.
True. It is not. It's not. That's not what it is. They are borrowing all of the Gemini AI models to power both Siri and everything that they're falling under, everything that falls underneath Apple Intelligence. They're powering it with Gemini's AI models.
Oh, just
not
like
Gemini,
Safari
exactly.
uses Apple Search, powered by Google's algorithm, right? No.
I'll ponder.
It's just...
I like how it took our two Apple fans that long to mention that it is Siri that is going to be powered by Gemini.
I could get a word in edgewise while Sebastian
I'm sorry, I was
went
just
on
ranting.
and on.
I'll cut most of my rant out. It's fine.
That's fine.
Go for it.
Yeah. I tend to be less objective and more opinionated about Apple stuff because I'm a closeted Apple fan. Let's just admit it right now. I've had Apple products for 2 decades.
They have problems, though. They do have problems. That's totally true.
Let's talk about Intel. We haven't talked about Intel in a while in a meaningful way. Well, maybe once a week, every 2 weeks.
Arc.
Yeah.
Arc.
Yeah.
Remember this?
I remember Arc.
Technically the C series, but not what we wanted.
So
Intel's given up a lot of ground in a lot of areas, but you know what? There's an area they won't cede, Sebastian. There's an area they will not cede.
Mobile graphics. That's where it's at. We talked last week, their CES coverage was comparing the latest Panther Lake graphics to an AMD solution. Well, now we actually have a possible comparison. Nova Lake is reportedly 20 to 25% faster than Panther Lake. So wait for Nova Lake? I don't know. That's the C series.
It's Panther Lake plus. Or I mean, and then there's, of course, the 70% performance jump.
Yeah,
it's a
versus
very
AMD
favorable
comparison
against
faster
than RDNA 3.5. That's exactly very favorable comparison. So
it's sad that AMD still considers RDNA 3.5 to be current.
You're right. You're right about that. Yeah. They haven't done an RDNA 4 in their laptop space.
It's almost like their architecture didn't really scale down very well.
Ouch.
It's almost like it's really, really power hungry or something.
It hurts because it's true.
Well, Intel's really sticking out a claim in iGPU laptop integrated graphics. Good for them.
Well, they got to actually utilize all that money invested in graphics in the first place. So this is a good thing. Maybe it'll make them stick with it for longer than just the old Starfighter enhanced and then slap it into chipsets for the next 8 years. Yeah, bad.
That's a thing that happened.
It was.
Welcome to Insecurity Corner, your weekly reason to drink.
And our first story from Ars Technica, never before seen Linux malware is, quote, far more advanced than typical, end quote. Well, wouldn't it have to be?
To infect Linux?
Yeah.
What you're implying?
Yes.
I think you're right, but they've even gone beyond that. This is called VoidLink, and it's a framework of more than 30 modules designed to infect various instance types, various hosting arrangements, Alibaba, Tencent, GCP, even AWS. It's designed to get into various subsystems inside Linux and install kind of a remote accessible framework so that they can extend it in a variety of ways. It sits latent. It's very hard to spot, very hard to get out. It's extremely advanced, very stealthy, unfortunately.
It's like someone inserted a really advanced Swiss Army knife into somewhere you did not want it to be.
Truly. It's a really wonderful, these are air quotes in case you can't see for those listening later, wonderful piece of software with an incredibly advanced framework to compromise Linux systems in a variety of ways and a variety of hosts. using a variety of ways to virtualize that environment. It's very sophisticated. Incredible planning and investment. I don't know, but it does look like it's from a particular Eastern nation, a Far Eastern nation, because a lot of it is written in a particular language. Yes. Did I say Chinese out loud? I didn't mean to.
Oops. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they spotted it about a month ago, but that was maybe because they screwed up a little bit and did an update that got caught, and VirusTotal actually spotted it. Like, it could have been out there for a while, and it may be hiding in a system near you.
Yeah, I didn't get any exploit like vectors and how it was getting into the systems.
Yeah.
But once your system has been compromised, of which I suppose there's a variety of like social and technical ways of this getting sort of installed or getting a foothold, it has a vast capability to extend.
It'll get in there one way or another.
Yeah. Whether it's at the network layer and just sort of injects itself based upon the environment that it's in. I see what you did there. Very clever. But basically, it's going to grab everything. It's going to grab SSH keys. It's going to grab cookies. It's going to grab binaries. It's going to hide from anti-locators, ways. It gets around debugging. It infects binaries. It's really capable. We're hosed.
Yeah.
Next, from the Hacker News, this will be shocking to, I think, almost no one. New research, 64% of third-party applications access sensitive data without justification.
I mean, because we wanna isn't justification. Because you agreed to it isn't justification.
If you do a bit of a scroll,
I don't know.
If you do a bit of a scroll, Sebastian, I thought you'd have a field day with some of these numbers here and read them with your typical plum, such as almost 15% of educational sites are compromised as of today. We did read the headline number of 64% of apps are accessing sensitive data, up from 51% in 2024. Now it's 64% are accessing sensitive data for no reason. They're just doing it. 81%
because they can. Teams, I mean, is there a better reason? Because they can. 81. It's rampant.
Well,
it's like,
but that's the thing, is that like 99% of educational software does monitor what's happening, but that chunk of it is doing it in ways that they didn't know about.
Sebastian, I thought you particularly liked that 43% of risks on the web originated in the marketing or the digital development departments of companies. Of the risk is exposed.
We just need to know what they think about what we did. Well, that's an invasion of we don't care about privacy here. We just need to know if it had an impact.
The push to do it is there. You privacy and security advocates, you don't understand what it means to run a business. And obviously you want to maximize profit. And people are things that can be...
anyway. The crisis is severe, it's expanding, and it's getting worse. The attack surface is large and growing. The holes are ever expanding, and we're drilling them ourselves.
Yes, so the poor people that spend all that effort crafting viruses and malware that, penetrate through all sorts of systems, they must really feel bad right now.
No.
Because people are literally paying companies to buy malware and then being happy about it. I mean, that's got to be demoralizing.
ROI is pretty good.
Right?
Yes, I suppose so.
Let's pause here for a word from another podcast sponsor.
I thought AI would help me write faster or answer emails quicker. What I didn't expect was how much quieter my workday would feel. AI started helping me sort the things out, summarizing the notes, classifying requests, flagging what actually mattered. That by itself was useful. It was still just insight though. The real change came when those decisions stopped living only in my head. That's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is how you can actually bring AI into your work and not just talk about it. Use AI exactly where it makes sense, inside real workflows, with Zapier handling everything that comes next. Nothing happens just once anymore. Even if you're filling out a form, a payment comes in, code gets pushed, it doesn't stop there. Zapier can make it fan out automatically. Tasks get created, updates go out, systems stay in sync. We'll use our favorite models to help decide what something is, summarize it, route it, prioritize it, Zapier is what orchestrates that decision across all the tools we already use. No complex setup, just making connections that work. The biggest difference? I don't have to remember to do things anymore. If something needs to happen, it's already wired up. My brain is for decisions, not follow-ups. And for a small team, that can change a lot. Move faster and drop nothing. Stay focused while the work keeps flowing in the background. Less AI hype, get more results with Zapier, the system between everything. Teams have already automated over 300 million AI tasks using Zapier. Ready to join them? Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/PCPerspective. That's ZAPIER.com/PCPerspective.
Chrome 144, Firefox 147, patch high severity vulnerabilities. Just the usual.
And that includes Edge. Or I mean Chromium wearing an Edge blanket over top of it.
I feel like sometimes this announcement, this particular segment of the Insecurity Corner portion goes without saying. But then I realize after a certain point, maybe we haven't mentioned this often enough. Maybe we should bring it up occasionally. Like, oh my God.
If we did the podcast twice a week, we might mention it often enough. Maybe.
Your browser is compromised, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Several security, and when I say several, I mean like 40 between the browser engines were just patched, and it ranges from typical one click you're dead to stop clicking on downloading this latest game, and you've just been infected with some sort of JavaScript thing that's going to take over your machine. Yeah, don't do any of that. But yeah,
that is why PC Perspective recommends links.
Yes, we do.
Anyway, it's not that it's secure; it's just too dumb to be vulnerable.
Although that's up next, we'll talk about that in a moment. So this applies to, as Jeremy was saying, Edge, Firefox, and Chrome. Go update them now. Just stop the podcast. We'll wait till you come back. Just go do it right now. Yeah, we'll be here.
Next, reprompt attack hijacked Microsoft Copilot sessions for data theft.
So speaking
Shocking,
of links. Speaking of links that don't cause a problem, so apparently Copilot has a way to conveniently inject queries using a URL, and that would be the Q parameter, short for query, I imagine. However, giving the ability to create a link that can be ingested by an AI and providing that AI with a potential query allows you as a remote a quote unquote a potential attacker to control the user's AI with this injected query, perhaps opening up the AI to communicate with a remote service, and then continuing your attack from there, even allowing the remote service after they've injected this link to continue to communicate with your AI on your machine, even after you've closed the tab. Even after you've closed,
I can recall a couple of reasons that would
session.
Be bad.
You'd think, but no, this is allowed. Microsoft has specifically allowed this. There's another thing that I find very interesting about this particular attack is that apparently Copilot heavily sanitizes that initial query. But don't worry. If you feed Copilot 2 queries, that second query, it doesn't sanitize as much. Yeah. And you're allowed to do just all kinds of...
And the third query,
I almost used
hurt
heavy
down,
sarcasm.
Fell over, and then sank your system into the swamp.
I was going to use explicatives, but I held back. Anyway, there's this ability to kind of chain multiple requests together that where it doesn't provide as much sanitization on the additional request, etc. Yeah, Copilot... Who could have thought this? Copilot is a vector for getting your data stolen and your machine taken over. Who could have predicted this?
Please skip back to about 12 minutes into the podcast when we explained about Zoicware and how to stop this from happening, because it will happen if you have Copilot enabled, because Copilot wants to help. And so
Zoicware.
This queue is there so that if you are running the full-on Copilot recall and everything, it means that URL, well, now Copilot's going to jump in and say, oh, hey, you've already searched for this. We already know about this. Here, remember this, dude? gal, we can.
And it's going to do completion. It's going to do completion. It's going to helpfully add additional context to the queries and provide extraneous information to the response.
So what I'm saying is it's working as planned by Microsoft. This is what they intended, without any guardrails apart from that first query not being allowed to trigger any code or do anything weird on your system. But as
there's more sanitization.
The second one,
there's more sanitization.
Now they know it's you.
The first query.
Yeah, but that second one, well, obviously it's you, because now you're following up when it didn't give you the right stuff, and it's insane, and it's, I don't think, fixable, because it's designed to be this way. Zoicware.
Take a look at it. Use it.
Unless you got a Verizon phone, in which case, well, yeah.
Yeah, we might mention that next.
Yeah, Verizon wireless outage puts phones in SOS mode without cell service. And this is interesting because earlier during this very podcast, I got a message from T-Mobile letting me know that it's not them. If you're trying to contact somebody on Verizon, it's their outage that's at fault.
True. Absolutely true. Now, this is in the sort of the context of Insecurity Corner. And I don't think that we want to imply that this is some sort of attack or an exploit on Verizon's
network. But what
network.
if it is?
Well, it could be.
We don't know.
But it absolutely
we don't know right now. I mean, it could be. And even if it is, you know what? We will never be told. I'm just going to.
It could have been incompetence. It definitely could have been incompetence, but
no, no matter which way we go with this, it's definitely incompetence.
No,
it all started with incompetence.
Yes.
It's getting better.
It is.
The day.
So they're flushing the problem, whatever that is.
Yeah. But that was a good 3 hours almost.
Exactly. Now, Jeremy, I think you can agree that if it isn't nefarious, it is DNS.
It's not DNS. It's never DNS.
No, it's DNS.
It was DNS.
It was DNS. That's correct. Yeah. And that is the end of today's haiku.
It is the best haiku.
And it's the end of Insecurity Corner. So we can all move on with our lives.
Kelton's safe now.
While you guys were talking, I was just thinking to myself, because there's all these vectors to infect yourself and those around you and your business and everything else with all these different vulnerabilities that are out there. Approximately, it's been a few years since anybody ran a study. The last big study that I could find was 2017. Approximately 5% of the world's population is computer savvy, like sophisticated.
As of what year?
2017, there was a study. I'm sure it's lower now. But in 33 countries they approximated about 5%. I think that's generous. Most people are not. And just because, I have a reach of, several people around me, and then I'm sure a lot of other people out there have a bigger reach, but you're only affecting a few people positively. The rest of them are just clicking on links and downloading stuff and running outdated browsers. And it's just, their habits are terrible.
Have you ever
just went through malware training and phishing training?
What's a driver?
That makes it worse. We talked about this last week. Don't train people. It makes them dumber.
This is a really cool font. I need you to install it for me, but it wants admin privileges. Where'd you find it? The internet.
Yeah. Oh, the Scotty GIF from Jack Frost in the Discord channel is spot on. Captain, I'm reading dangerously high competence levels all over the ship.
I'm sure. Yeah, I agree with the chat. I'm sure that number's not accurate, but I just feel like we are part of this elite group that's like the top 1 or 2% of the world, and then everybody else is just like, who cares? It's just make this thing work.
But don't get too smarmy, because we can still get caught. True. It's less likely, but
sometimes it's overconfidence. Sometimes it can't happen to me. I'm so well protected.
Yeah.
How could I ever?
Sometimes
how could it
it's
ever
just
happen to me?
You're in the middle of 3 millionth things, and it's like freaking whatever. Yeah, I'm sure someone signed me up for this.
like someone that might be running Windows 10 on their primary systems and hasn't extended their service package on it. So,
we don't know anyone like that.
You know about my Windows 10?
You are one of the elites, so you know how to manage that situation.
How do you
I'm
know
just
about
talking
this?
about the overconfidence.
Oh,
Are you
yes,
saying
I
that
have that.
you're overconfident? It's only a matter of time before you
Or
lose
actually, I'm more of one of those, it won't happen to me.
It can't happen to me. I'm too
Even if you do
aware.
everything right,
I
you'll
is
still be caught in a data
smart.
breach.
SMRT.
Yes, exactly.
Brief story time. I just want to share this. I used to work retail, and at one point I was a retail photo lab manager. We did 1 hour photo. We also sold electronics and stuff like cameras and small. At one point I was managing the whole electronics section. But I got a taste of what the real world is actually like. I was in a pretty big store, thousands of people a day, and somebody would come in and it's like, I need a scan disk card. This was a very common thing because they had heard the term scan disk because of improperly shutting down their computer a million times. It would pop up and it would always say like Microsoft has to run scan disk because you didn't properly shut your computer down. So they just had that in their heads. So when SD media became the standard after smart media in digital cameras, people read SD and the common brand was SanDisk. They read it as scan disk. And even if they didn't have a card that took that type of memory, they thought they needed a scan disk card. I had people who'd buy an Olympus camera, which used XD, but it's asked for a scan disk card. And I'm like, no, it's actually XD. What does that even mean? Like, well, SD stands for secure digital, not scan disk. SanDisk is a brand. Secure digital is a format, and XD is a different. People tuned out.
You lost them at hello. You lost them at hello.
Sandick is an irritation as well.
I hate sand. It gets into everything.
No one said that, John. No one said that.
I remember trying to explain something to a person who was upset about the digital transition because I was unfortunately selling TVs and converter boxes in 2005, 2007, when we took away all the low frequency bandwidth and TV became horrible over the air. And I was trying to explain to somebody, okay, why is it that I can't watch CBS, ABC, Fox, and NBC like I used to? Like, well, sir, I've pulled up a map and I was showing them like, here are the terrestrial broadcast towers in our area. And this is, that is in that direction. This one's in this direction. And when they went to ultra high frequency, unfortunately, high frequencies are multi-directional. It's like, and I got done with my little spiel, and the guy was just like, you know what? It's real easy to resent people like you. And that was his only comment.
I've been saying that internally about you for the last 10 years.
Thank you.
And now you've taken the same attitude
came on out
into YouTube and on the internet.
And the thing is, typical average people, they haven't gotten smarter. Enough for the ranting about normies.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like, I work in behavioral health. You get a lot of, especially in clinics like I work at, you get a lot of older doctors who have, they've had their own private practice and retired and things like that. These are not dumb people. These are very intelligent people, but they've never had education in this. And then they come in and I'm not saying the company I work for, but, there are companies out there that will say, okay, well, here's your computer. You'll log on to Microsoft Teams to do your virtual appointments and this and that. And, and then these people end up coming to me. By the way, I don't work in IT because I don't mix my hobbies and my career.
Oh, but if you're a go-to person, you have no choice.
Yeah, but like I say, these are, very intelligent people, but this is not where their skill set lies. And they've never been educated on it. And then these companies just think that everybody just automatically knows how to do all this stuff, but people don't. And then they just go around trying to figure things out. And then before you know it, you've got a virus in your company system. So I think training is important. I think people need to train and take it seriously instead of just the terrible training that they give, if they give any at all.
Is this an SD card?
Let's see.
Is that one of those ScanDisk cards?
It's a ScanDisk card, right?
Oh my gosh.
SD.
I'm going to start using ScanDisk card.
Yeah, it's a ScanDisk card.
The ScanDisk card.
So I've got a problem. My SD card doesn't fit in my SD reader. It's
well, if you trim it down a little bit, just take an X-Acto knife.
Damn you,
and
Sony!
Trim it down.
That looks like a Sony.
Oh God,
it is. It's a memory stick.
Oh,
yeah.
Memory stick duo.
How have you not
is.
killed that just out of sheer retribution for the trauma it's caused you? Yeah, that'll be why.
Let me
Got a little dust on there. A little dust on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like one of the
It's got
cameras
it-
they
it's got it-
introduced after they bought Minolta.
Supposedly
Well,
have
that's why
a
I've
great
got that
sensor even
15.
now, even today.
Is that my mom's decided to give up on her old Pentax DLSR?
Is that compact flash?
No, it's
Oh, it's SD?
it's
That's not
SD
that
card.
SLRs, those are newer.
So
What
I'm,
model of camera
trying
was
to
that,
get it
Josh?
back and functioning. The CMOS battery inside of it's dead. In theory, I've just bought a whole bunch of really high-powered lithiums that might be able to bring it back.
CyberShot
Let me flash it.
DSC HX1. Alan gave it to me years and years ago.
Oh man, that must be a while back.
You know what? Most Sony cameras come from Alan, now that I think about it.
Yes. He had a real soft spot for him.
He did.
He still does. He still uses that one.
Yeah.
Was the GX 10 or something? It's the Rolls Royce of travel cameras. That's how I've read it described.
He would wax poetically about his Sony cameras.
It's true.
That's right. So many
Spin
ScanDisk
right.
cards.
All right, big 80s news. I'm glad you took our advice and got a 5070 last month. Because, yeah, they're about $70 more to $100 than they were at that time.
So don't open the box. Just put it away somewhere and sell it in June for God knows how much.
It is time for Gaming Quick Hits, and we will begin with a story about USC Counterforce. A bit original XCOM, a bit Borderlands, a bit something else, writes Jeremy Hellstrom. Yep,
That's true. I did. I'm going to talk about it for about 40 minutes so that you can't go to bed, Sebastian. This one went under my radar. I had no freaking idea it existed until RPS went back to it, because apparently they bounced off it completely too. And after I looked at a lot of the Steam comments, they did as well, because they did an interesting thing. Instead of doing a tutorial, they give you a fully fledged squad that's, theoretically set up to defend the little tiny base that they're on, which is about to be swarmed by aliens. And you get your butt kicked. There is no way to win this thing. I haven't played it yet, but apparently it's like worse than the beginning of Mechanicus, where technically if you know the game, you can actually win that first battle. This one, no, you just die. You run out of ammo, you run out of everything, you die. And people are like, well, this is awesome. It's like somebody's final battle save game for my first mission. No, the idea is that these were the guys who went in with no clue and got slaughtered. And now the game starts and you're like, oh, crap. We need to be better prepared than that. And instead of starting it with a bunch of rookies who've got no clue what they're doing, you got to build up every single attribute and stuff, you start out with veterans. And they can still build up and get stronger, but they start out relatively good because you are absolutely overwhelmed. It's like late game original UFO or XCOM UFO defense, not the ones that coddle you nowadays. The ones where it's like, no, you screw up for 2 months in a row and you will lose the game, no matter what. There's also, and this is the weird part of the Borderlands, so there's an entire resource economy where you're building up bases and being able to buy stuff and new soldiers, but you can make prototypes weapons, and so you throw a bunch of money in and something comes out. It could be a really good handgun, it could be a crappy sniper rifle, it could be something that doesn't match your playstyle at all. You've got no idea, but it's like one of those Borderlands guns drops where you're like, wow, that's amazing if I was anything other than what class I am. Thanks, Joy. So hopefully it's not too bad, and hey, you can save scum if you have to. So if you like Jagged Alliance, if you like the original nasty XCOMs, this sounds kind of interesting. And you are going to lose people. It's going to happen. And one of the more interesting mechanics that I'm looking forward to is like some of the med packs will cause overdoses if you use them too often and your soldier gets paralyzed. Too many painkillers and you've seen it in the streets downtown. But there's also ones that like, more APs, but your morale goes down. So it's interesting. It's from guys that do a lot of, I think it's Hooded Horse. They do a lot of these sim games that are just like really nasty, really deep. Maybe not be the prettiest, but hey, if that's not what you're going for, this one might be interesting. I'm looking forward to trying it. It's just that, well, Terra Invicta came out with 1.0, and my God, that game. It's far slower than the StarCraft shooter that they're going to tease us with again. It's totally coming out before Half-Life 3.
Well, come on. Shooters are really hot. PUBG, Fortnite. There's a lot of money to be made.
StarCraft Ghost coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Again.
But this is real. It's real. And it's news. It's news, Jeremy. Could happen.
It was real the last time.
Is this actually being reported, or is this just a quote from somebody? This is a media type.
It's from Windows Central.
Saying
it's most likely.
No, it's not canceled.
They're saying BlizzCon 2026. They're looking for it there. I don't know when that date's going to be. They're throwing down a marker. BlizzCon 2026. This is what's going to be. It's going to be headlining. You're going to be seeing this.
At BlizzCon 2026. Blizzard has not denied that they will announce a 3D shooter.
PC Perspective can neither confirm nor deny that we are developing a third-person shooter with a strong loot component for 2026. We haven't said that we're not doing it.
That's true.
Play as Josh is going to be one of the first skins, and it costs like $1,200 real dollars.
Actually, they did a first post of Josh's skin in the Discord channel about half an hour ago. I don't know if anybody saw that, but that's the Josh avatar.
Sorry,
in there.
I don't have any skin in that game.
Yet.
For those in the Discord channel, there was a Josh avatar that was posted about half an hour ago, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, like that. Sebastian, you should put that up if you can find that.
Yeah, let me go to the channel on this laptop here and see exactly what you're talking about.
Yes,
see if it's suitable for public viewing.
Sadly,
yeah, it is. Yep.
Yes,
it's not even that far back.
Is it not?
10:22 p.m. So it's
10:22 p.m. Okay, thank you for the timestamp. That will help. Scrolling.
It's still making me laugh. Look at it.
Oh, this is good. This is very accurate.
And
that's going to be
that's definitely in the
Twitter picture.
So go ahead, Josh. Yeah, should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's
also
currently Kim Jong-un as me.
Yes. Yeah, which was
too much
also on point at the time.
Yes.
This is an avatar from the game that we may or may not be producing.
It's his second game
Full
from
disclaimer,
PC perspective.
we're not developing any software.
Its working title is Josh Does Bob's Burgers.
Yes. Not Josh Does Bob. Josh Does Bob's Burgers.
Burgers, yeah.
Do not search for the other one.
I thought it was Where's Jim?
That's a different game entirely.
Yeah.
It is.
Bring a shovel.
Yeah, you have to get.
But someone did
instruction
actually make
equipment.
a PCPer game like many, many years back.
In like RPG Maker or something, or
Yes.
yes.
It was a little battler. It didn't last long.
All right. Finally, in Gaming Quick Hits, via Ars Technica, SteamOS continues its slow spread across the PC gaming landscape.
Lenovo has announced it'll launch a version of their high-price Legion Go 2 with Valve's SteamOS, which is nice, I guess. So Steam still making inroads, continuing to make more and more things compatible. They're actually, I think, reducing some of the requirements on their new Steam box as well. But yeah, this is yet another notch in the SteamOS pegs, I guess. If you want to, whatever. I want to make it
Bedpost.
The bedpost, as it were.
Woohoo.
Say they have conquered the Legion Go 2. Steam continues to roll out. I pray for our Steam OS overlord
Steam is looking
someday
at like a 3.6% market
to
share
overtake. And that we build boxes that are just SteamOS boxes, and we can just game with them. Although there are other people, that Hackaday article that Jeremy you posted about people turning their Steam Decks into essentially a portable computer.
Workable.
With a keyboard and then the ability to plug in an external display if you wanted it.
There's a bunch of people.
Portable.
You remember the Cyberdeck competitions? Right, they build the Cyberdeck. I could see SteamOS being perfect for that. SteamOS might be the new one for all these people trying to cobble together, the pretend Cyberdeck. I could see this working great, and like it's impressive. In the last 7 or 8 months, Linux has jumped a full % on Steam.
That's rocket ship.
They're at
gains.
3.6%.
1% gain is very fast.
Yeah. And this is before Steambox is going to be released and be too expensive to buy, but it's also long after the Steam Deck was released. So it's not like that initial jump of the Steam Deck or the new Steam Deck, which we're still waiting to see.
Look, there's even rumors of Steam expanding beyond like AMD as the core GPU space. There's rumors of them getting beyond that as well. So this could be the gaming OS of the future.
Yeah, North Ranger's watching us on Bazite instead of playing a game for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
all right. Thank you.
Hey, watching us is just as entertaining as a game.
Yeah, you can try the joysticks with us on the screen. It doesn't really work, though.
Let's move on to picks of the week while Josh is still awake. Josh, please get us started.
Yeah. So about a year ago, I bought an AOC keyboard, a mechanical keyboard on sale, and these things are relatively inexpensive. And this bundle comes with a gaming mouse and a mechanical keyboard that I've got. This thing is $51. It's relatively inexpensive. Has all the LED lighting. They have an app that you can install and do changes to your lighting, so all matches. And I don't know about the quality of the mouse, but I enjoy the keyboard. So if you're looking for a budget type gaming keyboard and mouse, $51 ain't bad.
That's a very good price.
Yeah.
But Josh, you're a Republican.
Yeah. So
AOC.
Jeremy, he keeps making this joke. He's done this before.
It's not. Yeah, let's not.
All right, fine.
I'm just accepting all cookies from Home Depot. Perfect. I'm sure that won't harm me at all.
No, because it's Canadian.
Jeremy, your pick this week.
Honestly, It's been a day, so I didn't have much time. But this was a wish list for my brother, which I did get part of. But if you are looking for home repair stuff, not professional level, because Ryobi One Plus is not professional level, but one of these tools on a professional level would cost you the same price as the entire bloody 7-tool kit with 2 batteries and a charger. You want a drill, an impact drill, a Sawzall, everything. If you are looking at any sort of home repair or just, need to replace some stuff that's died, you're now stuck in a single ecosystem, but you've also got 2 batteries and a charger, and it's not that more expensive to pick up another couple of batteries. It's a stupidly good deal. This is Canadian. I don't know if you don't have Home Depot in the States, I don't think.
Yes, we do.
Sure
We do.
Okay. So
It was, yeah. The owner of the company is in Atlanta, so.
okay.
We got the depot.
So yeah, check out the American version. It might also be fairly decent, but yeah, this is, it's going to do just about any job you need it to, as long as you know how to do the job, that is. So yeah, that's what I got this week. I don't know.
I'm curious.
It is a
now
good
to
price.
See what our kits
It is a good
are.
price.
That's a very good
It's a
price.
stupid price, man.
I actually have the brad nailer that's in that kit and the multi-tool. I have both of those, and that brad nailer was fantastic when we were doing our renovations last year.
Yeah. Holy schmeg.
I could go to my local
you're sure the brad
store
nailer
tomorrow
on that?
morning. Yeah,
But-
Those are small batteries. That's a 1.5 amp hour battery. It's
I see.
Yeah, that's not
and
a,
a
And a 4.
4.0? Oh,
Yeah, you get a 1.5 and a 4.
Yeah.
all right.
That's
So just add the brad nailer to
$200.
that,
If you
which-
needed some power tools, these are not the greatest. However, $200,
They'll do
you get all the tools, you get some batteries, a
Yeah.
charger. This will get you going. You can get that brushless Milwaukee later for the same price. Oh, wait.
Well,
no, not even.
if you end up
That's like $400.
needing it, then yeah, do it.
what is
And
the,
a lot of these are brushless, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're
'Cause I got
they're
a multi-
brushless.
And he can
Oh,
run
some of them are
it, and you
brushless?
can't hear it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are brushless. But yeah, the brad nailer is probably an extra for the Americans, like $30 or $40 on top of that. It's an insanely good deal for basic home repair that you're not going to be doing constantly.
Pretty
Yeah,
soon.
so-
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and just for everybody's information, Ryobis are made by Tektronix Industries. Excuse me. They also own Milwaukee and make Milwaukee tools. So it's not saying Milwaukee's aren't better, but yeah, I mean, they're all made by the same company. They own and make a boatload of different tool brands, actually.
All right. Moving on. Brett, I believe you have a pick this week.
I do. Like most people in the last 100 years, when you bought a drone, you probably bought a DJI and have enjoyed it. And if you're an amateur, you could probably still get yourself a DJI. The prices are going to be falling. Why are prices going to be falling? Because DJI has recently been basically sort of banned from selling any of their new stuff. The old stuff is still available. They will still be able to sell everything that was FCC approved up until a certain point. But I think support might potentially start falling off. Firmware might start falling off. New updates to their software that are running on phones and iPads and laptops and whatever might be starting to fall off. Might be difficult to get repair pieces. And if you're in the professional realm, that's probably going to be a problem. But as an amateur, you still want probably access to a drone that you know you're going to have support for as well. Start looking at another company. You might want to start looking at Potensic, which is making some pretty good looking drones at very reasonable prices. This is very equivalent to, I believe, one of the latest Mavic Minis from the DJI space. This is a 10K distance transmission, 8K photo, 4K video drone with dual gimbals, carrying kits, entire kit. This is one that's not going to be going away, and it's very reasonably priced at under $400 for the entire kit. So when we start to lose DJI, start to look at different companies that are continue to approve to sell in the US, and Potensic looks like a viable alternative for reasonably good price. The Mavic Mini 3, which is relatively comparable on paper anyways, is about $100 more from DJI.
Is that DJI or DJI?
I'm sorry, it's
DJI.
It's DJI. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kent.
It's not the same.
Kent, your pick this week.
So, the last few weeks we've been kind of endorsing, maybe looking at some semi-retro PCs going back to AM4, DDR4. Why not take that extra step if you're looking to build a new retro style PC? Why not go back and go to a retro case as well? And Silverstone's got you covered here. The FLP01, it's 165, takes all modern hardware inside. And I do case reviews on occasion here. In stock, yeah.
Sebastian,
I do case reviews.
The Flop 1 and 2.
It only took a year, but you can finally buy them now.
Yeah. So, but, I do case reviews here, and I watch the case industry, and I like cases. I like updating my PC. But, this is the second or third year in a row I've watched CES and been thoroughly disappointed at the offerings. Everything just looks like a Lanley 011 now. Nobody is doing any kind of innovation other than just some odd colors here or there. I'm still on a Fantex 719 that I think this case came out like 6 years ago, maybe 7. And I've just not found anything that has compelled me to switch from that since then. And I look all the time and nobody's innovating. So go backwards instead and do something kind of cool in a retro case.
I'm going to have to see if any of those are in stock up here. Because, I do want one of those. I just want to pay an obnoxious amount of money for it.
Yeah. For you,
And
based on what
bad.
I was seeing, it reminds me of like South Korean money now, where 1,000 won is like $1 US.
Yeah, no, we're not quite that bad.
Not
That's
quite.
the same inflation action in working. That's working as designed.
Yes. Speaking of South Korea, my pick of the week is just this story I saw earlier today. A report that a South Korean design office was hit by a thief who only stole the DDR5 out of their systems. That's it.
I saw this.
Well, what else would you want?
Right. So the stolen parts were 4 Micron DDR5 5600 32 gigabyte modules.
Not even
CL46.
6,000s. Not even 6,000s. That's not very discerning.
Well, those are 32 gig modules. So
Take what
128
you can,
gigs.
man.
All right. But CL46, Sebastian. Jeez.
That's just JEDEC spec stuff.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, yeah, they're
It's probably green.
It's not
And
quite
clock up
worth
your
its weight in
DDR5.
gold, but it's
That's-
bloody well coming close.
That's all I wanted to say. That'll do it for the PC Perspective podcast. I want to thank you for listening, watching. If you are one of the elite hundreds or possibly even thousands of people who watch the video version, once it is edited and posted to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/PCPer. And we're going to come back next week, I assume, and do it all over again. Hopefully,
It's just
finding more to talk about in the doldrums of post-CES winter tech coverage.
or we'll just talk about cars.
Yeah, we
It's a
could.
surprising number of thousands of people that actually listen to the show. A surprising
Listen,
number
yes.
of thousands.
Watch the YouTube version.
Not a surprising
No.
number of thousands.
Yeah.